Well, welcome to a very busy Bank Holiday Monday at the Route 59 Cafe, and out today with Gazza and Andy and Colin and Colin. That'll get confusing. There's Colin number one on his new DSX GT and Colin number two on his Biza. I'll tell you what I'm on in a minute, if you haven't twigged it already. Hey! So, courtesy of Appleyards, I've got this here QJ Motor SVT 650X. Hey! I've been rehearsing that all day. Basically, a 650cc V-twin engine modelled on the Suzuki SV650 engine, or V-Strom 650 engine. Putting out an impressive 75 brake horsepower at 9,000 RPM and 48 foot-pound of torque at 8,000 RPM. So pretty pokey for a 650. And my favourite riding position of all the genre of bikes is the adventure bike, and this one is no exception. Very comfortable, neutral riding position. Yeah, what else about this bike? Comes with heated grips and seat as standard. At the moment comes with free hard luggage. And what else have we got? Got 20 litre tank on these, so should be good for well over 200 mile of range. There is another version of this. This is the X. There's the non-X with alloy wheels. This has spoked wheels. Comes in at 235 kilos. So a reasonable bit of heft about it, but not that noticeable, to be fair. But I'm not going to jabber on at length about the facts and figures and the numbers and what have you. I'll do that at a later stage, because as I say, I've got this bike for a full week. Thank you, Appleyards, very much appreciated. So I will be riding this bike for the next week as often as I possibly can. But as I've said before, you've got to admire what you get as standard with these Chinese-made motorcycles now. And I think the first Chinese-made adventure bike I rode was 3 or 4 years ago. It was the Benelli TRK 702. And people were talking about then reliability. Aye, lad, let's see how long they'll last. And the first point of reluctance for a lot of people in relation to that bike back then was questions over reliability and endurance and aftermarket values and all the rest of it, as well as of course people who take a moral position on anything that comes from the PRC. Now we're 4 years down the line, And of course I've just bought myself a Voge DS800X. It's the second Chinese bike I've owned, and yeah, we're 4 years into that. Time will only tell, time span. I'm not so sure how long some people want, but to be fair, this particular brand, QJ Motor, is new to the scene pretty much, so we'll see. Thank you to everybody who commented extensively on the last few videos covering my change of bikes. Sadly, there were 2 or 3 people who unsubscribed, but felt the need to tell me they'd unsubscribed as well. I'm not so sure what the point of that is, to be honest with you. How odd. I mean, fair enough if you are particularly brand loyal to a particular bike and that bike no longer features on a channel, yeah, then if you want to unsubscribe. But why you would want to tell me, you know, I am unsubscribing. Click unsubscribed. Right, well, yeah. Is that a case of I don't like what you've done, so I'm going to punish you? Don't get it. I mean, if you're going to unsubscribe, you just unsubscribe from a channel and move on, don't you? You don't make a point of rubbing it in. But anyway, aye, there's no so queer as folk. But you know, the channel is what it is. As I've said on many occasions, the core theme of this channel is ride-outs in the beautiful Yorkshire countryside and surrounding areas. On now 1 of 3 bikes, plus any bikes that I might happen to have on loan or reviewing or whatever. That's the core theme. That combined with a bit of banter from time to time. But as I've said before, I don't like being compartmentalised or categorised or labelled. Can't be doing with it. And what I'm very keen to avoid is being purely a modern classic channel or purely a Royal Enfield channel. Because then that constrains you. It actually restricts your repertoire a little bit. So I'm keen not to be drawn down that road. So all today really is going to be a preliminary ride on this bike just to get a feel for her. Oh, pheasant alert. Don't run that pheasant over. Thank you. And I think the route's going to be, we're going to go to Arncliffe, then through Littendale to Halton Gill. And we're going to hang a left at Halton Gill and go over the tops past Penny Ghent to start with, and we're going to have a little stop in the lee of Pennygent and have a decide where we're going next. So yeah, let's just say, after all that waffling I've been doing, the bulk of this video, for your general edification, will be a beautiful landscape unfolding before your very eyes as you vicariously join me on this ride. Enjoy. Oh, I've just had a stretch in the lee of Penny Ghent there. Look at that. Fabulous. And Colin needs some fuel in his ever so thirsty GSX. Hey, so we're going to now go to Ingleton for a bit of fuel, and then over the tops to Sladeburn. The only thing about this here bike that it's a bit of a negative, and I don't know if you can adjust it, but the TFT it's big and clear, but it's dim. It's a little bit on the dark side. I don't know if there's an adjustment for it. I'll let you know in a few days. But just look at this, wild, woolly and beautiful. And one thing that really does impress me about this bike so far is its handling. You know, for a fairly tall bike, it handles like a dream. And when you consider 650cc, it's a 650cc V-twin 8-valve double overhead cam, liquid cooled, but still the amount of brake horse that this has, quite impressive. 75. When you consider the last 650 that I rode was a Royal Enfield, and that's 47 brake horsepower. So you've got a 650cc engine with 47 brake horsepower, and this 650cc engine with 75 brake horsepower. Yeah, very, very tractable, this engine. Well impressed with it. I know some people say it's a blatant example of plagiarisation, a blatant example of the theft of intellectual property. Because of course it is heavily based on Suzuki's 650 V-twin. But they say the sincerest form of flattery is imitation. And if it's a cracking good engine and somebody else decides to use it as a benchmark for their own derivation from it at a cheaper price, then I suppose we all benefit, don't we? But yeah, perfectly legal of course, because apparently unless some piece of technology in the engine is patented, then you know, you have free range to shall we say use it as a source of inspiration. We'll go no further than that.